Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Terrick with the Mr. Olympia. Final predictions by the experts. I have here my co-host of Primetime Muscle. He is four-time Ironman champion. He's the 1993 Mr. USA's in the Hall of Fame of bodybuilding, Chris Cormier. How are you, Chris?
Good. How you doing, Terrick? Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Also with us, he is four-time Arnold Classic champion, 1992 Mr. USA's. He's also in the Hall of Fame of bodybuilding. He is Ken Flex Wheeler.
How you doing?
Doing good, thank you. Also with us, he is the Master of Ceremony for the Mr. Olympia, Master of Ceremony for the Arnold Classic, 2000 Mr. USA's. He is the voice of bodybuilding, the most interesting man in the world, Bob Cicherillo.
What's up, Terrick? What's going on, boys?
The most interesting man on the planet.
Yes. Shawn Ray should be joining us very, very shortly. Apparently,
he's looking for a footstool.
Yes.
Terrick, when you said very, very shortly, was that a punt or was no pun intended?
I believe it was.
No pun intended. No, that's Bob's territory.
I think you're right, Bob. It was. Terrick's a little sharpshooter, man.
No, I don't have the pun intendents that Bob Cicherillo has. He's the master of it.
Just tell Shawn to keep it short when he gets on.
With that being said, Chris, Flex, and Bob, does this Mr. Olympia feel like surprises might happen or tradition might stay with the results? Chris, do you foresee any surprises in this Mr. Olympia? Do you feel something different?
I feel 50-50. As they say in France, comme ci, comme ça.
Bob, you usually know some of the surprises, or you have a feel for the surprises a lot earlier than most. Do you feel any surprises in this Mr. Olympia?
I'm with Chris on this one. I think it's about 50-50. I think you're going to hear me say "and new" as about as many times as I say "and still." So, but there's going to be a few upsets. I got a pretty good hunch on this one.
Flex Wheeler, the history of our sport has been of tradition. The guy who wins the previous year has better odds of repeating. Do you foresee many surprises, or do you feel like tradition is going to prevail?
I don't know, man. I feel like there's going to be a lot of surprises, a lot of upsets. I think it's going to be an interesting show. I think it's going to be a lot of upsets.
Okay, guys, I want to cover with you guys the men's divisions. We're going to do with the ladies afterwards. So we're going to talk about men's physique predictions. We're going to talk about 212 Classic and open bodybuilding. Let's start with men's physique. We have Aaron Banks. He's the reigning champion. Brendan Hendrickson was second place. But right now we have Jeremy Buendia coming back. And as we saw, we have here 1987 national champion, Ironman champion, and Arnold Classic champion, Hall of Famer, Shawn Ray. How are you, Shawn?
Good, brother. I'm remote.
Okay, we're going to go right back to business. We're going to cover the men's divisions. Bob, I'll start with you. You saw Kyron Holden beating the current Olympia champion. If you have to pick a top three in the men's physique, what would be your top three and why?
Well, I thought it was a huge error on the part of Aaron Banks to go into the Legion as the incumbent champ, as the Olympia champion. I don't think you'd ever put that title up for grabs for exactly the reason that what we saw unfold at the Legion. That is, you can get beat. It's not a foregone conclusion. Yeah, listen, we don't take anything away that he won the title, although I didn't have him winning last year. I had Brendan Hendrickson. That said, Why would you ever put that title up and risk somebody beating you and now opening that door to the Olympia? And that's exactly what happened. Kyron Holden now, to me, is the man to beat at the O. I think Aaron's going to be scrambling to try to, make sure that doesn't happen. But you can't take out Brandon Hendrickson. I had Brandon winning last year, so you might see Kyron Brandon, you might see the champ fall to third place at this year's Olympia.
So, okay, Bob's picks: Kyron first, Brandon Hendrickson second, and Aaron Banks in third. Okay. Let's see. Let's just register that. So
before we move on with that, I do want to give credit where it's due. Jeremy Buendia, 4-time champ. Again, it's been 6 years, I believe, since he's been on the stage, but he looks very good in his training and his videos, and I think he's going to bring a very formidable physique. I don't think it's passed him by. I think there's a good reason he was a 4-time champ, and he will be in the mix. I can absolutely see him in that top 5, 4th or 5th.
Okay, perfect. Flex Wheeler, you know Aaron Banks very well, and you know a lot of these guys. You interview them, and a lot of these guys have you as a role model. What are your picks for the men's physique category?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double up on what Bob said, but you're right, and I think that was a massive mistake he made, and that happens when, no disrespect, right? We're just commentating, giving insight, right? That happens when you're too arrogant and you think you're untouchable. The guy's been on a winning streak. I think he's won in like his last 5 competitions, but it can happen. Now it's going to be a fight, and it's a setup now. So he's showed that there's a chink in his armor. Now everybody's going to go after that. Everybody now, he had this like unbeatable like aura about him. Now it's happened. Everybody's going to have their sights on him. Anything can happen now.
Okay, so we have the same pick. Both of you believe that Kyron Holden will be the next Olympia men's physique champion, and that the current champion, Aaron Banks, falls to third. So we want to keep that registered. Make sure that you guys make enemies as we go into the Mr. Olympia. Let me add this banner here just so, okay. Flex, Kyron, Brandon, and Banks. Shawn Ray, you're not afraid to make enemies. If you have to pick top 3 men's physique competitors, what would be your pick?
I think Flex is off base, man. When you win, you gain confidence. I don't think the guy was overconfident. Sometimes you miss your peak, but when you lose, it doesn't necessarily mean you lost because the other guy's better. Flex, you probably should know that better than anyone else.
I've never lost.
So I actually think Aaron Banks is still the real deal. No pun intended, Chris. Bob, I think you're way out base. I think Kyron he's an excellent guy that can be beaten any given time. Right now, he's on a run, but you're talking about multiple peaking. You're talking about he peaked in Daytona, he peaked over there in Reno, and he's got to hold on for another 2 weeks to try to do it again in Orlando. And again, not everybody rises to the occasion. I mean, the Olympia stage sometimes is bigger than what some people can imagine when it comes down to nailing it on the day. Some guys, for example, they can hit their peak at the Arnold Classic, but they never hit their peak at the Mr. Olympia.
Hey,
this guy's on a run. I know you resemble that remark, Flex. You're Mr. March, baby. You're Mr. March. In my opinion, you're Mr. March. But I'm not writing Aaron Banks off the way that Bob just did. And Kyron, while he's just got a big feather in his cap, you've got to sustain that for another few weeks. And we have yet to see him actually do that on the Olympia stage. But Aaron Banks is not finished by any means, and neither is Brandon Hendrickson. Jeremy Buendia does look very good by himself, and it's been a long 6 years. And when you see him by himself, he looks very impressive. But we know a lot of guys that look very impressive by themselves. Jeremy's going to have to rise to the occasion of what that Olympia is like. It's been a long time. He's been out of that limelight for a minute, and he could melt underneath those bright lights in Orlando, Florida. So I'm staying with Aaron Banks. I also think that Brandon Hendrickson, he knows what he brings to the table. I think Kyron is good. I don't think he's ready to be Mr. Olympia. Physique.
So you have Banks first, Brandon second. Who do you have in third? Kyron?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Kyron.
I think Jeremy's not going to be in the top 5. It's been too long. I still think he's got a ways to go.
Okay. Chris Cormier, top 3 men's physique.
Wow. I'm having a toss up in my head between Brandon Henderson and Chiron. Shit.
Chris, you're
just saying
supposed to
it's
do
gonna
your
be
homework
interesting
before the
no
show.
matter what.
Before the show, Chris, not during the show.
Why don't you, little man, be quiet while I put it together?
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Less than 2 weeks.
All right. I'm gonna
Shit,
go.
I'm already picking out a steakhouse, Shawn.
Capital Grill, baby.
You have your reservations?
Look, Chris.
I got Brandon, Chiron, Jeremy, and Banks.
Oh, so you have Banks out of the.
I got Brandon. I got Banks fourth, going for third and fourth. I got Chiron second. I got Brandon getting the title again.
And then you have Jeremy in third. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Cormier's pick: Brandon, Chiron, and Jeremy. Okay. Well,
Their body types are very similar in that thickness, and I think the judge is gonna. Chiron. He spent a lot of time trying to get to that classic look, and he decided to go back into the physique. But I think all that posing, that different type of posing, that different type of mindset behind his training, I think that catapulted him. He was always third. I think he's gonna move up a spot in Olympia.
okay.
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yes, I've always been trying to help you throughout your career. So how can I help?
Of course you have, little brother. That little brother's always trying to help their
How
big
can I help
brother.
you
They
now?
always want to impress their big brother. Please
Can I
don't honor
do for
him.
you?
You've been a good little brother. Now be quiet. So my question is this: seriously, do you guys, other than Shawn, right? Do you guys see a change of guard in Aaron? And if so, why?
Well, here, I'll chime in on that one. Again, if we go back to last year, and again, it was very close. We're talking about the Olympia. We're talking about elite athletes here. But I didn't have Aaron winning. I had Brandon Hendrickson winning. And I don't want to say easily, but again, it was a very close race. I just think he was put together a little bit better. And Brandon actually matches up with Chiron better when it comes to physiques. And to counter Shawn's argument, listen, I don't care how you dice it. He just beat the champ, and he beat him not because Aaron was off. Aaron was very much on at the show, and Chiron was very much on.
You said because
both of them hit close to 100%. But the bottom line is Chiron is just put together better. I just think overall, Aaron's a little taller, a little leaner, a little more up and down.
No. You said
what do you mean,
Aaron was cocky. You said Aaron was cocky.
Oh no, I said that.
No, Shawn said that. So you can't even keep this straight right now.
Flex said that. I didn't say that, Bob. You can't even follow.
I didn't even mention the cockiness thing. You're already off base.
Condition. I just said, you asked a question, Terrick. Why would a person go into a non-title
to make money?
Bout? And that happens when you get a little bit too confident that you think you're unbeatable. I've done it before. A lot of us have done it before.
Listen, here's the bottom line is that there isn't a round of cockiness. Okay, I don't care if he's the cockiest guy on this earth. It means nothing for his physique. When you straight up compare these two guys' physiques, Chiron to me has a better flow to his physique. He's got a little bit more in the leg department, despite what some of the experts out there feel like that. Yes, the legs are taken into consideration in men's physique. And Chiron and Brandon have very similar physiques. I think Aaron's going to be the odd man out.
Bob, even with Bob saying that, that's what I was going to say is even though I think those changes supposed to be into the rules for next year, still in the minds of the judges, they're still going to be looking at that this year. Just from being a human being, you're going to be looking at that like, okay, this body is overall balanced better.
So, Chris, you think it's going to be in a judge's mind that Aaron just lost?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute, Bob. Hold on a second. What you're telling me is that the judges in Reno are going to be judging these guys in Orlando.
No, but we're all people.
Okay, then I don't want to hear about what happened in Reno.
We weren't
because
there.
it's totally different opinions.
It's
not the
over
same
your head,
judges.
obviously.
It's not the same judges, Bob.
Yeah,
So what?
over your head, buddy.
Because you're saying it's in the judges' heads. The judges weren't in Reno. These
But
are
they
new
saw the
judges.
results.
This is what we think.
These are new judges. It's a new day.
They just saw they saw the results. You know, it's absolutely
So
possible.
you know what you're doing? You're making my case for back when I used to compete with these judges, having it made up in their mind before the show even starts.
Shawn,
Listen, they're still going to judge on what they see, but the bottom line is
they weren't in Reno.
the incumbent champ just got beat. It
They
has
weren't
to
in
open
Reno.
the door to the possibility that Chiron is better.
Possible,
Yeah,
you know?
100%, Shawn, and it's true, right? They are only human beings, right? Just like if we go to a show and a person like Ronnie, right, 8-time Miss Olympia, or Lee Haney, that's in your mind when you're going up against this person. They're a multi-champion. So it is in their mind also of just recently that multi-champion just got knocked off his block. So no matter what, when the judges, when they walk up there, people are going to be like, oh, wow, that's the guy that beat Aaron. Oh, wow. So what does he really look like now compared to Aaron? That's in their minds. They're human beings.
All right, let's give it to Chiron.
It doesn't mean that they're not going to judge. I still feel that they're going to be 100% judged, but you got to admit, everyone is going to be looking for that matchup now, where before they wouldn't have.
Well, Chiron was coming. He was making his way. I mean, Aaron's been taking a year off. Chiron's been busy.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to move into classic physique, but I want to celebrate the men's physique division. I was watching Jay Cutler's podcast, and they were talking about the men's physique competitors. Right here, we have 4 of the most iconic bodybuilders in the history of the sport, and all of us are passionate about the men's physique category. So all the credit to the men's physique guys. We love what you guys are doing, regardless if we're judges, bodybuilders, or officials. You guys have made a space for yourselves, and we love what all of you guys are doing. Let's move on to classic physique. Bob Ciccarillo, top 3 in the classic physique.
Well, this is going to be a real interesting one also because you've got some major contenders on that stage. Now, the easy pick, of course, is C-Bum. Great competitor, multi-time champ. He's going for, 5 this year? And seemingly untouchable, with the exception of one thing. I don't have him winning this year. I've actually got in the upset special, I'm going to pick my man Urs Kalasinski, who looks like a younger version of Chris Bumstead. I love Ramon Dino. So again, people, for all my fans out of Brazil, don't start sending me thousands of dinosaurs over the next week. Okay, we get it. Love Ramon, but he's a little out of proportion. Those arms are just absolutely tremendous. But man, his forearms are as big as his thighs, and it takes him off a little bit. But I've seen the pictures and the videos. Listen, Bumstead, I think is great. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think Urs Kalasinski looks like a younger version of Bumstead. Great physique. He's put on some muscle. His conditioning is outstanding. And I think we're going to see an upset this year. I've got Urs, I've got Bumstead, and then I've got Ramon Dino in third.
Oh,
Very
Bob,
good. Very good.
you'll definitely make. I misspelled here, Bumstead. Let me fix this.
Hey, we all know who it is. Just put C-Bum.
Bumstead.
Spell it right, or else they're going to think I did it.
Okay, so Bob's picks: Urs Kalasinski, Chris Bumstead, and Ramon Dino. Flex Wheeler, what are your picks for classic physique?
Bumstead, Urs, and Dino. And the reason why is I put it that way. I just don't feel. I think it's going to be an incredible matchup between Urs and Bumstead, right? And I agree with Bob. He does look like a younger version. I need to see them matched up, right? Because all we've seen is these great videos, and we've seen that Urs put on a lot of muscle. I have to see that he brings that type of muscle into condition. I just need 5 seconds. I got to give that credit to the champion. And, what has he done lately? Urs has to level up, right? And as far as Dino is concerned, I mean, a great athlete, but I don't feel that he's going to be able to change his physique enough to become champion, because Urs is hot on his heels right now, and he has him to deal with. And I just don't see him making those great enough changes in his age. Not that he's younger, older, or anything like that, But Urs is younger. He's younger in every possible way, competitive wise, miles on his system and everything like that. So it can be a great upset. And I think it could possibly be an upset, but I have to give that respect to the current champion right now.
Chris Cormier, your picks for the classic physique.
Upset City.
Hold on. Shawn Ray is back, Chris. 1 second here. My apologies. Shawn, your picks for classic physique.
You know, Bob's making me think a little bit here. And, you know, Bumstead's my favorite. I clearly love what Terrence Ruffin brings to the stage. I watched him over in Dubai. And when you see him in person, he doesn't look like much. He looks like Frank Zane in street clothes. But when he gets on the stage, he takes your mind back to a place and time. But it's when he's by himself, because on the stage next to somebody like Raymond Dino and Bumstead and Urs, kind of disappears like Muhammad McAway a little bit. He's a little too small. But Urs is the one that would be the X factor to upset what Bumstead's bringing. And I think that, you know, sometimes you can catch a guy like Bumstead, when you get 3, 4, nearly 5 victories in, you can catch him slipping. We saw that happen with some of the other athletes that have won consecutively. You slowly can miss that timing because of the workload. Maybe you're on cruise control, and Urs is young and he's hungry and he's healthy. I would love to see that upset, but I mean, Bumstead for me, by far and away, is the best class physique guy on the planet. So he's Mr. Olympia to me. If he'd go on the Open Olympia, I think he could win the Open Olympia. Yeah, no, just based on how he looks. Don't do anything. Don't put on any more weight. He's my favorite in terms of the physique on all spectrums. If you stand him next to Hadi Chupin, if you stand him next to Urs, Bumstead has everything if he's healthy. But I'm going to stay with Bumstead. I think Urs is going to challenge for the title, and I think Raymond Dino is going to pick up third place. And I think Terrence Ruffin he's going to be better than he was last year, but I think he's going to be somewhere around 4th or 5th.
Okay, so Shawn Ray picks Chris Bumstead to win.
I do.
Urs Kalachinsky second and Ramon third.
Yes.
Chris Cormier, your picks for classic physique.
I'm going old school rerun. I'm going because of the change of the weight. I think the shorter guys are going to get a little bit better. Aaron's going to be better. I'm going to go old school style. Breon Ansley getting the title back.
Wow.
Everyone's getting that title back. Brandon's getting his title back. Breon's getting his title back. We got Bumstead second. We got
Chris is on the payroll. He's on the payroll.
You seriously got Breon winning?
He's on the payroll, Bob.
Third, we got.
Of course.
Third, we got.
That's total bias.
We got the best back in the whole class.
Okay, that's the back. Or what about the legs and the calves?
Who you have in third, Chris?
I'm trying to come. I'm going to go with Terrence third.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going Terrence. I'm going real bodybuilding. I'm going real bodybuilding.
Is it real bodybuilding, Chris, or is it classic physique? There's a difference.
Breon's back with Kill Shawn Ray's back.
Breon needs to get to 12. You're making a mistake.
I don't know about that. Breon got a hell of a back. Breon got a hell of a back.
Let's not get crazy now.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, Chris. Breon has a hell of a back. But you're talking about somebody who has similar features in back, but he's bigger. And here's just my same argument for what you're saying about old school versus new school, right? I thought about this a lot last night because Terrence is like the true epitome of what classic physique would be about, right? He is,
absolutely
right. But it's like the argument and conversation me and Shawn had so many times eloquently. When you have someone who has the same.
We lost. I think we lost.
We froze up.
We froze up.
He froze up like Paul Dillette in '94.
Yeah, he did. Let me
Call the
put some
lead
let me put some clarity onto this. Oh, there he's back. He's back.
Why
Yeah.
you-
What do you do about that? When a person has everything that you have, they're on a bigger frame and they're heavier. There's absolutely nothing that can be done about that. So what Terrence bring to the table, his lines and everything, Earth, right? And Bumstead matches him.
Yeah.
But they also have qualities that he doesn't have. And Terrence is just, and also Breon, they're a one-story house when you're looking at a two-story house. So you take everything this one-story house has, all the amenities, and then you double it with a two-story. It's just not a matchup anymore. It's about physics. What do you do about that?
You put up the front double bicep and you be like, boom, who won
And
it?
here's what I was going to say about Shawn. Listen, Breon has a hell of a back, but you're forgetting Shawn is bigger, he's taller, and he's heavier. If you were to actually put those two men together, you would see how much more superior Shawn would be just because he's a bigger man.
Chris is bought and paid for.
Breon with Sean Ray.
Chris is bought and paid for.
Let me lend some clarity. Let me lend some clarity to this insanity here. Okay.
What's going on here?
Here's the bottom line, guys. All right. Breon at this point is Mark Anthony and Danny Hester. Okay. He's been passed by 5 years ago. He should have gone into 212. This was a huge mistake by Breon to go back in here. He's not even going to sniff the top 5, Chris.
I told Chris that he won't listen.
We'll see about that.
The bad trainer.
Yeah, no, we will see about that. But
We'll see about
trainer.
that.
Chris
Listen.
is Aaron Snowell for Mike Tyson over in Japan. Against Buster Douglas. That's who Chris is. Aaron Snowell.
He's not big, so calm down. And
if we're looking at classic physiques in the sense, then Breon has the least classic physique out of all the names we've just mentioned. He looks like a good bodybuilder.
What's classic, Bob?
Well,
What's classic?
he should be 212. Terrence Ruff is classic.
They're all classic.
I was classic to all of you guys. What are you talking about?
You are natural, though. You are natural.
Chris, I got 3 words for you, brother. Puff, puff, give.
And his best, check this out. And the body is less tampered. Listen, and his body is less tampered with as mine was when I was competing against all you guys.
So we're gonna.
because you were competing natural, right, Chris?
We have the picks here. We have Bob's picks for the classic physique: Urs, Bumstead, and Ramon. Flex Wheeler picks Bumstead, Urs, and Ramon. Shawn Ray picks Bumstead, Urs, and Ramon. And Chris Cormier picks Breon, Bumstead, and Terrence. Gentlemen, let's move on to the 212.
Wait, Terrick, I'm screwed. I got to get my car. I have a flat tire, so I got to go pick it up before they close.
Sounds good. We'll catch you right back.
You did say 212. I'm going with Shawn Clarita over Keon. Keon second.
Sounds good. Text me your numbers. Text me your top 3 in 212 and your top 3 in the open so I can post it here if you're not here with us.
We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. So Bob Ciccarillo, go ahead. Give me your top 3 in the 212, please.
Well, I got to go with Shawn on that one. Shawn Ray, that is. Shawn Clarita, he's miles ahead right now. The muscularity, the crazy conditioning, his consistency. Nobody's beating him this time around. The only, who I thought could have given him a shot was Breon Ansley, but he's not going into 212. He wants to take 6 over in the classic. So Keon is great, man. I tell you, Keon reminds me. We want to talk a little bit of old school here, and these two guys will back me up on this one. But he reminds me of a smaller Edgar Fletcher. His physique is just absolutely put together. Small waist, beautiful muscle bellies. I don't think he can get that conditioning. That's always been his Achilles heel. In the past, he looks better. The last time I saw him, he was fantastic. But he can't approach Clarita when it comes to the conditioning department. And third, I got to go with Ashkenani. I think he's still kind of hanging in there. So I'd give him the nod maybe for third. I think it gets a little dicey when you get into the rest of that top 5. It literally could be any one of 5 or 6 guys. But look for the giant killer. Although there's no giants to really slay here in the 212, right? But he's still the giant killer. Okay,
Bob. So Clarita, Keon Pearson, and Ashkenani. Flex Wheeler, the 212. What are your picks?
it's going to be Shawn and Keon. My thought is still out on third. I'm just not sure yet. Here's the thing. Keon's a better competitor. Simple as that. If you go 100% matchup, if both of these gentlemen are on, Keon wins. Just much prettier lines and everything. The reason why I think Shawn might still edge Keon out is Keon still hasn't nailed his condition. But here's the great thing about that, right? Keon is doing so much damage now. And I'll be hard on him because he's like a little bro to me. He's barely in his 90th percentile of conditioning, right? So imagine if this dude starts popping off 92, 93, 94%, he's going to be untouchable, and he's younger. So all Keon has to do is just stay healthy and stay just getting it in. He's going to be the champion. He's going to be a reigning champion for a long time. But right now, I'm not really showing third place. You guys forgive me for that. You know, I'm not going to just throw something out there and when it's not really well thought out. But that's going to be the matchup. But, man, I'd love to see that battle. I'd love to see if freaking Keon can squeeze out a little bit more conditioning because, man, he's definitely the future of the 212. Just beautiful lines, incredible lines. Yeah, Edgar Fetcher, but I have to say Keon's a better version of a bodybuilder than Edgar is. Yeah.
Okay. He didn't pick third. So
you, Chris, I got you third. I got you coming in third on the 212s.
Chris Cormier, your picks for the 212.
I got Shawn. I have Keon. And I mean, I've been seeing the pictures of Askanani videos and stuff. Saw him when I was out there, and I was thinking Karit for third, Bajo, but man, Askanani won that thing before, and shoot, I'm gonna go with the same as Bob. I think.
Okay, perfect. Chris Cormier, Clarita, Keon, and Ashkanani. Okay, gentlemen, this was fairly fast, which gives us a little bit more time and space to explore the top three at the Mr. Olympia. Let me see if Shawn has texted me his top three. Not yet.
But before we move on, Terrick, I just want to give a quick shout out to Kamal El Garni. Obviously, he's had to pull out of the Olympia. His brother, unfortunately, diagnosed with cancer just a few weeks back, so he pulled out. But he's certainly a name that would have been in the mix as a former 212 champ. So, want to just give our best to him out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kamal El Garni, one of the best we have, not only as a bodybuilder but as a human being. All our prayers are with you and your brother.
And also, what's our buddy from England who didn't get a visa? They wouldn't allow him into the U.S.
That was Nathan Diasha.
Nathan, that's coming up in the open here.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, as we're about to go into the open, I know we're still waiting on Shawn to put his foot on, but you know, all that training, put into it, and it just sucks, right? I mean, we have it so easy because we live here, but you just think about all the competitors, all that time, all that effort. I mean, just what do you do with that amount of energy? It's like, it's like getting into an argument and a fight and it's diffused, but you're left with all this energy stirring inside you, man. What do you do? So my heart goes out to the young man.
Yeah, but he's been through a lot of stuff in his life.
Yeah, he has been.
You're right. He knows. Yeah. He's a different type of cat. You know, I worked out with him a lot of days out there in Kuwait. And he is tough, man. He's tough mentally. He can get down for a second, but he's definitely going to fight his way back and get whatever he was getting or is trying to get out of the sport and, out of his journey.
Well, we hope. I heard something about an appeal. We hope all competitors. I know Baruz Tabani had a final interview. We hope all competitors can make it. The Olympia made an announcement. Also, I wanted to communicate the press conference will be in a different format. I heard some inside information. It's going to be super exciting. We're going to have some Olympia champions asking questions, Olympia champions from the past. That's going to happen on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Also, the check-ins at the Mr. Olympia will be broadcasted live on Olympia TV. So if you ever wondered what happened at the check-ins at the Olympia, you will not have any questions anymore. The check-ins will be broadcasted live. Myself, Bob Ciccarillo, Flex Wheeler, Shawn Ray, Chris Cormier, all of us are going to be there with Olympia TV doing interviews and covering the check-ins. With that being said, I also want you to go right now to www.olympiaproductions.com. Get your pay-per-view right now. There's no other way to watch the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. Get your pay-per-view right now. The biggest stars are going to be communicating to you what really transpire on and off stage. Bob Ciccarillo, here we go. If you were wondering if the dinosaurs would come, Bob, they will come.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Thank you, Pedro.
Bob, top 3 at the Open, Mr. Olympia.
All right. Well, here we go. Like I said at the top of the broadcast, it's going to be a 50-50 of and new and still. And when we get it to the Open, I do believe it's going to be and new Olympia champion. This is a tough one. Okay, now everybody knows I'm a big Samson fan. Been touting him for years now. I can see him coming a mile away. And if you got an eye for a physique, you can see that this guy has got every attribute to be Mr. Olympia. The only problem he's got is he's got Terrick in front of him, who, if anybody just saw the pictures that he put out last week, especially from the back, good God, man. Now, listen, this guy had the best back in the show when he won the 212 a couple of years ago. All right, so that should tell you something right there. His back has only gotten bigger and better. It's the front that he's going to have to contend with, and that's where it's going to get dicey. I've said months ago on this very program, whoever hits 100% to me between Terrick and Samson will win the Mr. Olympia title. This is where I had to make the decision because I don't believe we haven't seen 100% from Samson yet. I do believe we will see 100% from Terrick. So I think that's going to be the deciding factor. I don't see Hadi repeating. I think he's going to have his hands full. Both these guys are put together proportionally better than Hadi is, in my opinion. I think Hadi will still be in the mix. He'll be third place. And then it's a toss-up, man. I think Brandon Curry looks excellent. Last pictures I've seen in video. He'll hang in there with fourth. I've seen an improved Hunter Labrada. I think he may get himself back up there. And I think Nick Walker has probably got enough mass and freakiness to keep him up there. But I don't see him going any higher. I actually see him taking a sixth place in this competition that's coming up from what I've seen.
So, Bob, just, it's good that you gave us a top 5. I like that for the Open.
Sure.
Let's just confirm your picks here. So you have Derek Lunsford becoming Mr. Olympia in 2023. Yep. You have Samson Dauda in second, Hadi in third, Brandon Curry in fourth, and Hunter Labrada in fifth. Is that correct?
That's what I got. I got Derek Lunsford, who also, by the way, would make history as the first Olympian to win the Olympia title in 2 divisions. This is something Breon could have done, Chris.
Bob, it looks there's a bodybuilder who's a little bit unhappy about your statement, but it's okay.
Love it.
Well, listen, and Nick loves, he knows I love him as a bodybuilder, as a competitor. This guy's fantastic for the sport. He's a character. And, of course, he loves it. You know why he loves it? Because he loves proving people wrong. That's what gives him motivation. And he's going to be out there doing his best. Unfortunately, like I say, aesthetically, symmetry, proportion, all that kind of stuff. Listen, these are the best in the world. And I wish Nick all the best. And I'm going to listen. I hope for his sake he proves me wrong and anybody else who doesn't have one. And I think it's great for the sport.
Okay, well, here we go, Flex. What are you?
Wow. Shoot. So Samson, Lansford, and the verdict is still off for third. I don't see it being I don't see that the current Mr. Olympia etching out and being third place. I think some of the bigger guys are going to usher in better condition. and I just haven't seen enough input, right? Haven't seen really anything from the other guys. So I'm pretty locked in on those two, but Verdict is still out for third place.
No, Flex, you got to give me third, fourth, and fifth.
The verdict's out for the whole show.
Hell
Come
no.
on.
We've been doing top three. Bob, the one who shot out his trap. Hell
And
no.
I think it's a good idea. Flex,
Bastard, you bastard.
let's go. Third place.
Third place. Nick Walker.
There you go. See now.
Fourth place.
You know, because I'm wishing, I'm hoping.
It's not the end
Shut
of
up!
the world. Everyone's gonna want to prove
Pay respects when your elders are talking. I'm still older. Listen, I'm going to say this one out of respect, right? Because he has so much potential, and I'm still really pulling for the guy. I'm going to go with Andrew on fourth.
Okay. Okay.
And who do you have in fifth?
Current Mr. Olympia.
Damn. Wow. Okay.
So, Flex, you have Samson
Did
Dowda.
I turn yours upside down, Chris? Did I make you think a little bit?
Thinking, brother.
It looked like I made you rethink your top five a little bit.
Just to confirm, Flex Wheeler's picks
Yes, sir.
for the 2023 Mr. Olympia.
Yes,
He
sir.
believes Samson Dowda becomes Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford second, Nick Walker third, Andrew Jackson fourth, and Hadi Chupin in fifth. Okay, Chris Cormier.
I got Andrew Jack fifth.
You going backwards. All right.
Fourth.
See how
You know, that doesn't help my typing, but it's okay.
it doesn't.
Fourth, Hadi.
We understand your limitations.
Heidi's fourth. Okay.
So you have Andrew in fifth,
Heidi in fourth.
Hadi in fourth. Is that correct, Chris?
Walker third. Samson second. Derek first. New champion.
So you got
No matter
Chupan
what.
out of the top five.
What?
You got Howdy Chupan out of the top five.
No, he's got in fourth,
Fourth.
right?
Fourth.
So you got Jacked in fifth. Oh, you want fifth place.
I think Hadi's he's dry. He's got the most maturity out of the top five. I'm just like, I don't know. I
I
think
think Manford got the maturity out of the top five.
Who?
Actually, I misspoke. You have Curry out of the top five. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going off of what I'm seeing on the.
That's your pick, bro. I mean,
Yeah, man.
But no
Okay,
matter what,
Chris.
he still spelled out
This is
and
just-
new.
It's just off the
Chris.
top of my head, but there will be a new champion in the Open for sure.
So, Chris Cormier, your picks are Derek Lunsford becomes the 2023 Mr. Olympia. Samson comes in second. Nick Walker in third. Hadi Chupin in fourth. And Andrew Jacked in fifth. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the picks. We have here Bob Cicarillo's picks, Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier. Shawn Ray just got so scared he left.
he's already reached his quota for giving out steaks, so
Okay,
he's not going to make any more picks.
So
John can't afford to lose any more followers. That's why he
No.
pretended like he got a flat tire.
we have here Shawn Ray just send me a text message and say, I'm not scared of anything, Terrick, especially making picks. And you got to give credit.
that's a lie.
Sean is not scared.
He's scared of taking a crowbar to that wallet. That's what he's scared about.
Shawn Ray picks Clarita. He picks Clarita in the 212. With second place, he goes to I'm gonna just type the Open. He goes Keon. So he's just like Clarita and Keon. Now his picks, Shawn Ray's picks for the Open are, he believes Samson Dowda wins the Mr. Olympia. He believes Derek is in second, and he believes that Hadi Choopan is in third.
Solid, man.
Well, yeah, here we go. Shawn's pick: Samson, Derek, and Hadi.
Why
So
does he only get to do 3? Where's the other 2?
No, I think he's driving. He's driving. So
He's driving on 3 wheels, Flex.
Hey, he was driving when he sent those 3, damn it. Where's the other 2?
Well, this is quite interesting. So
Yeah, it is.
all of you guys, top experts in the industry, believe that we're going to have a new Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. I believe so. I still believe, and again, it's going to be tight. I had to pick a winner because I'm not one of those people who likes to sit on the fence, but I love Samson's physique. He's taller, he's broad, he's really put together well. He embodies everything a Mr. Olympia should be. I just don't think he can get that skin thin enough to actually beat Terrick, because I think Terrick's going to nail it. I mean, I absolutely think he's just supersized. From the pictures and the video I saw, he's a cartoon character.
Yeah, Bobby, and he never will. That'll never be Samson's gift, right? That is Derek's Lansford. That is his gift. I just don't feel he'll need to with that much bigger frame and those beautiful lines. I just think that, if he just continues etching along, he could be there this year, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and give him the nod on this one. But
it can happen.
He'll never have that. That'll never.
He's a lot leaner than he ever been right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, he is. You're damn right about that. Leanness isn't his problem. It's like, it's like I noticed with some guys with darker pigmentation, like Robbie, what's the other body? Right. Bring up his name.
Johnny Fuller.
Johnny Fuller. When you have that darker skin, it's just I've never in history seen somebody that with darker pigmentation showed like extreme separation and dryness.
Well, listen, Brandon Curry's darker, right? He doesn't have that kind of thinness to the skin. We can go down right in history. And you're exactly right, Flex.
Didn't either. You know what? The only person I would probably say the leanest person I've seen with that type of dark pigmentation is, you guys are going to give me a pat on the back, attaboy for this, is Roy Callender.
Yeah. Roy was there, or Orville Burke.
He was one of the first guys that I noticed back in that era that had striated glutes that would die dark pigmentation.
That's true. Here, I'll give you the only guy. Here's a name from the past for you. I'll give you the only dark pigmented black guy I've ever seen to get that kind of conditioning was Ronald Javier.
Right now, you're right. You're right.
There you go. He's the only one.
He had that separation, but he didn't have that like dryness, right? I just got to come out and say it. Caucasian guys and Middle Eastern have way better dryness than the brothers do. As simple as that. And we carry more of the roundness. In the Middle East, they're like in between, right? They're like the best of both worlds when it comes to it.
Well, Nick Walker is definitely excited about the Mr. Olympia. Not quite sure he's excited about you guys' pick, but Nick Walker.
Hey, I had him in there. I picked him in there.
Listen,
but he will be Mr. Olympia one day.
There's one thing that nobody can deny about Nick Walker. His work ethic is unparalleled. I mean, this man, I had a chance to speak with him in Las Vegas, and he was training. He was doing some hamstrings. He's a determined young man. And I sometimes I mention his name with the unstoppable force. So Nick Walker, I mean, what can you say about Hadi Choopan? I mean, the guy has been in Iran working out. He's been focused. What Samson Dauda presented at the Arnold Classic, Derek Lunsford surprised the world. I think Nick Hunter Labrada displayed a tremendous physique. Andrew Jack in Texas. This is going to be an amazing Mr. Olympia. I couldn't be more excited. I think the open category, the entire world is going to stop and watch. I need you to go right now to www.olympiaproductions.com. Get your pay-per-view right now. You deserve it. You worked very hard. I want you to purchase right now. Tell your wife this is not Sunday football. This is Saturday bodybuilding. and it's going to be one for the ages. Gentlemen,
I think it's awesome that they're gonna wait a minute a second. I think it's awesome that they're gonna have the the weigh-ins, or not the weigh-ins, but the all the guys before the show showing up, getting their numbers, getting their badges, getting their goodie bags and all that stuff, doing the interview.
Part of the audience, right?
That's gonna be awesome, man. You gotta watch it. That's like some of the important footage that's never been really shown.
Credit to Olympia TV, coming up with the best ideas in bodybuilding. Subscribe right now to Olympia TV, okay? That is the most respected channel in bodybuilding. My name is Terrick Elguindi.
Whoa. We're done? That's it?
Yeah.
We're done.
Why are we signing off?
We gotta get back to the gym. We gotta get back.
Are we paying by the minute? What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, I Flex just sent me a message. Says, I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable.
Show the message.
What about all the chicks?
Chris Cormier sent me a message. He goes, Nick Walker is gonna beat me up at the Olympia, Terrick. End this live right now.
Hey, where's the love to the girls?
We're not doing the girls. The girls are gonna be done with Linda Murray, Wendy Fortino.
Man, come on, man.
You guys do not have the expertise to speak about the girls.
I sure do.
I'm gonna bring Linda Murray, who's won.
I sure do.
I'll give you all the winners right now. What do you want to know? Come on.
You guys do not have the know-how to know anything about the girls. Linda Murray, Wendy Fortino, Camille Perriot are going to be doing. Whitney Jones and Wendy Fortino cannot do the predictions. Is going to be Linda Murray and Camille Perriot, and we're going to bring some other Fit Rock star. She's also going to be there, Isabel Terrell. But we are going to do a predictions with the girls. My name is Terrick Elguindi. I'd like to thank my co-host from Primetime Muscle. He's a 4-time Ironman champion, 1993 Mr. US, Chris Cormier. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Also would like to thank 4-time Arnold Classic champion, 1992 Mr. USA's, the legend himself, Flex Wheeler. Thank you, Flex. Very stoic. And also, the iconic voice of bodybuilding. He is the master of ceremony for the Mr. Olympia. He's the master of ceremony for the Arnold Classic. He is the voice of bodybuilding, the athlete's representative, the one and only Bob Cicherillo, the 2000 Mr. USA's, and according to him, the greatest Mr. USA's of all time.
Yes. There's lots of USA champions, but there's only one Mr. USA.
My name is Terrick Elguindi. I'll see you next time.